So, there's this creepypasta about a SpongeBob lost episode, SpongeBob and the Missile. It's saying that it needs to be deleted ASAP. So might as well cover it while it's still around. Nickelodeon is one of my favorite channels when I was a kid. I grew up watching shows such as Mako's Modern Life and, of course, SpongeBob SquarePants. You probably know what the show is about, so yeah, I have loved the show. But as the season progressed, it started to appeal to modern audiences. Not really my cup of tea. The modern seasons are more immature, but I still managed to get some laughs out of it. Last week on Friday, I was at a yard sale in my neighborhood. I was looking at old toys from the 90s, some old DVDs, etc. That's when I saw a DVD simply titled SBSP. It didn't take me, a genius, to figure out what the SBSP meant. So I bought it. The lady at the yard sale said she had never seen the DVD before, but I could have it. I gave her $5 and I went back home. Trope number 1. Buying something from a garage sale and the person who owns it has no idea how it got there or if it. I went home and my parents told me I had to go to band practice. So I put the disc in my sock drawer and went outside to hop in the door. After band practice, I had forgot about the DVD. It wasn't until Saturday morning that I remembered about the disc. It was 7 a.m. and my parents were still asleep. I got the DVD, woke up my laptop and inserted the disc. I opened up my video player. The first thing that played was the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song. I plugged in my headphones and put them on. The intro was different. When the kids in the intro said SpongeBob SquarePants, it just ended up muted after that. Turned back to normal. This happened on and on until it ended. I didn't know why that would happen. I just ignored it. The intro ended and the title card came in. The title card simply said, SpongeBob and the Missile. Weird name for a kids show whose targets 7-year-olds for their audience. There was no music playing during the title card, like always. Then the episode started. It faded to the exterior of SpongeBob's pineapple house, then cuts to the living room. SpongeBob and his friend Patrick arrive inside the house, and Patrick sits down on the couch. SpongeBob starts making lemonade to cool off after a long day of jellyfishing at the jellyfish fields. Soon after, there was a knock at the door. SpongeBob walks to the door and is greeted by a very angry Squidward. Will you stop leaving your mail in my mailbox? I'm sorry. I didn't know my mail was in your mailbox. Well, it's your mail, so it's yours. I hope the ballistic missile wipes you out. What missile? What missile? It's been all over the news. Didn't you know that the missile was coming down? Just after that, the news came on the TV. Breaking news! A ballistic missile has been found heading towards Bikini Bottom in an hour. This is Bikini Bottom's worst days yet. However, there is an underground bunker miles away from the town. This is a realistic fish head signing off. Good luck and Godspeed. Then the TV goes static. SpongeBob gets a call from Mr. Krabs, telling him to meet at his house immediately. The scene fades to Mr. Krabs to Mr. Krabs' house. SpongeBob and his pet Gary, Squidward, Sandy, and Mr. Krabs and Pearl were there. They both had their suitcases packed. Right next to Mr. Krabs was a parked boatmobile. Put your stuff in the trunk fast! Everyone immediately did so. So, all while a ton of boatmobiles are seen pulling out of their driveways. After that, they started hitting the road. Mr. Krabs started the car while Pearl sat in the passenger seat. SpongeBob, Sandy, Patrick were all squeezed into the back seats. SpongeBob's pet snail Gary sat on his lap. But Mr. Krabs realized that there was no more space for Sandy, so they taped Squidward's legs to the roof of the boat. Mr. Krabs thought that giving Squidward a gun would eliminate traffic, which Sandy pointed out that would not be a good idea. Sounds quite familiar. If we leave Squidward on the roof with a gun, we'll have less traffic to deal with. A time card shows for a few minutes later. This was the part that kind of disturbed me. Squidward was on a shooting rampage during this time, killing pedestrians left and right just to shave a few minutes. Patrick's been biting his nails the entire time. Mr. Krabs says that they will arrive at the bunker in about 10 minutes. I'm not sure if they'll even get the tape off of Squidward's leg in time. I'm scared, SpongeBob. I know. I hope we get there in time. I hope they got packets of spare coral bites, SpongeBob. I haven't had lunch today. Time card for 32 minutes later. Mr. Krabs. All right. We're getting really close to the bunker. We'll have some spare time if we don't get... Before Mr. Krabs could finish his sentence, everyone heard a faint scream and a whack. They all checked to see what happened. Squidward flew off the boat and died. It was an absolute bloodbath. I wish I had a screenshot to show it, because Squidward was pouring blood out of every severed limb. The blood was not hyper-realistic, but still unsettling to see. Everyone had no idea where the gun went, though. And by the looks of it, that's the only weapon they packed. That's not a good sign. After the Squidward incident, the others kept driving. Not long after that, a family trying to escape, pointed back, trying to signal something. Turns out there was a boat going at 120 miles per hour and is crashing into every other boat and is still going. Mr. Krabs parked in an empty gas station just in time for the boat came in and killed them all. I can't say the same for the family, though. just in time before the thing came in and killed them. Couldn't say the same for the family, though. As soon as everyone got out of the boat, Mr. Krabs started congratulating everyone. Great job, team! If we were as little as a second behind, we would be all dead. We are insanely lucky this time. If we can survive that, we could definitely survive the missile. Mr. Krabs told SpongeBob and Patrick to go get some snacks. Mr. Krabs then told Pearl that if she needs to go to the bathroom, now would be the time. And he told Sandy to help with the gas. Time card for 13 minutes later. Remember when they taped Squidward to the roof of the boat? Well, turns out other people did that too. Because Mr. Krabs was assassinated by a bullet from the head. After everyone else heard the gunfire, Pearl immediately pulled the emergency brake and she, along with Sandy, SpongeBob, Gary, and Patrick, took cover to the best of their extent, that is. Shots were still being fired. Luckily, no one was hurt by the bullets. The windows? Not the same story, as Patrick got a deep cut in his arms and legs. Gary hid underneath his shell while Sandy found a disinfectant and SpongeBob got some band-aids. That will make SpongeBob or Patrick stop crying about it. They had to dump Mr. Krabs off of the side of the road, and Sandy had to take the wheel. She immediately went ham on the gas pedal for a while. The ride was perfectly fine until the boat ran out of gas. There were no other gas stations in the highway that they were in, so everyone had two choices: run to the bunker on foot with all their supplies, or jack someone else's boat. What do you think they chose? There was a couple coming out of a fast food restaurant not far from SpongeBob and the others. They were holding a fast food takeout bag and were going to their boat. These dumb idiots placed a shotgun on the roof of their car. Thanks to that, SpongeBob and the gang easily off those two lovebirds. Turns out they had a lot of supplies compared to SpongeBob and the others. They even had a gallon of gas in the trunk. Patrick looked in the takeout bag and saw 2 cheeseburgers, a biscuit, a set of fries, and a full box of chicken nuggets. There was a full can of soda and a bottle of water. Patrick, Sandy, Pearl all tried to split the food 4 ways. There was a slight, and by I mean huge, problem with the gang's car rig though. After they filled the gas tank on their boat, the other fish folk found out what they were doing, and not long after, they tried to kill them. Not for the gang's new haul supplies, no, but for killing those 2 idiots. Were they their cousins? Well, I never got an answer to that, as they started to go after us. Sandy was punching and pushing everyone out of her way, while Pearl slammed them in the head with a baseball bat, and they started to beat the absolute crap out of Pearl. SpongeBob this didn't feel like the SpongeBob I knew and loved. This feels like something from a disaster movie. My parents were still asleep, mind you. They usually wake up during 7:15, but this episode was at least 15 minutes long. Anyways, SpongeBob had to escort Pearl back to the boat before the mom could do any more damage to her. She could have died. Time card for 13 minutes later. SpongeBob, Sandy, Gary, Patrick, and Pearl managed to get to the bunker. They were all handing the luggage and bags to Pearl, which she would store in the bunker. When she went upstairs to get some more luggage, she grew a sinister smile on her face. Before everyone else could toss all the food and water in, Pearl grabbed the door to the bunker and closed it shut. Pearl had cartoon stylized angry eyebrows during this and wasn't hesitant to do such. That was when SpongeBob snapped and started flipping out at her, constantly swearing at her, using words that obviously wouldn't get this episode approved for little kids. I chuckled a bit, hearing SpongeBob start cursing like a sailor in that kind of show. After SpongeBob calmed down, Pearl started to say to SpongeBob, "It's a fish eat fish world, SpongeBob," before walking downstairs deeper into the bunker without saying another word. The scene cuts outside of the bunker. The bomb has already gone off. I can feel the heat on. I can even feel the heat on my face. SpongeBob couldn't give up. He grabbed a crowbar and he took out of the boatmobile's trunk. "Don't worry, I'm not letting us die like this." SpongeBob tried using the crowbar to bust open the door, while the song "We'll Meet Again" starts to play in the background. I already knew they're not making it out of this alive. SpongeBob tried to open up the bunker, but to no avail. When hope seemed lost, Sandy put her hand on SpongeBob's shoulder, which caused SpongeBob's attention. She looked at SpongeBob looking sad, and closed her eyes and shook her head no to SpongeBob, while her head was facing down. SpongeBob looked at Sandy and starts to tear up. Sandy covers her eyes, holding in her tears. As the mushroom cloud starts to grow and grow, Patrick and Gary go up to SpongeBob, holding his hand. Sandy does the same to SpongeBob's other hand, and they were about to accept their fate. Both Sandy, Patrick, and Gary closed their eyes, and after that, SpongeBob closed his eyes too. After that, the screen cuts to black, while the background is the sound of flames of the fire and burning. The episode ends with no credits. I lied down in my bed, trying to comprehend what the heck I just watched. My mom hasn't even woken up, so when I heard my parents' door open, I immediately ejected the DVD from my laptop, threw the DVD in my trash, tuned off my laptop, and put it where I found it. Jumped to my bed. My mom told me to get up and that we were going to get some donuts. I went and got dressed and got into the car with her. I still remember that episode to this day. I tried contacting Nickelodeon, but they haven't replied to my calls or emails as expected. It's unlikely that I'll ever find the original episode. Origin to the episode. I advise you, do not find this episode. So that was SpongeBob Lost episode, SpongeBob and the Ballistic Missile. So you guys know what Diary of a Wimpy right? So there's this vocal fan base. It's quite vocal. And a couple of years back, there was a big boom where people would read Diary of a Wimpy Kid fanfic. And one of those was called Greg and the Ballistic Missile. This was that, except with an entirely new coat of paint. So I can understand why this has been taken off. Is gonna get taken off because it is a direct copy of a different thing. So, well, it doesn't seem like that's very. It's not interesting. It's not interesting. I mean, the original one, it was very original. I liked it, or the Dragon Ballistic Missile, like. I'll see you all in the next video. Hope you guys got Ultraman, and see ya in the next episode. Or next video. I'm so friggin' tired. This took so forever.